especially in the States, we have this, huge boom of talking about, first of all, what does it mean to buy local? Does it mean it's grown local? Does that mean we just purchased it local? That is another one of those words that we're struggling to define. What does that mean, local? I think one of the most important issues as far as farming is to really recognize the role that women across the globe play in feeding future societies. It's not about industrial, agribusiness anymore. If we're really talking about this local food economy and the paradigm of what that means, women are really the future of feeding the planet. And I think that that is one of the key issues that we need to address as we move towards the Earth Summit Rio+20. We need to really recognize that fact and really build into it policies and support for women across the globe, because that's really the future of local agriculture. Because when it gets down to it, what is the whole local movement about? It's about feeding ourselves and feeding our families. And so it's critical to recognize the role that women and small farmers play in making that part of our sustainable future. Yeah, it's critical. I'm a farmer myself, and I raise chickens and goats and heritage turkeys. And because I am a farmer, I understand the dynamics of farming. And in order to reach a point where you, are providing, there's a level where you are able to provide food for yourself. Then there's a level where you're able to provide food for yourself and your family. Then there's that next level that allows you to have profit. And that is the level where you can expand your farm to the point that you meet all of those things, feeding yourself, feeding your family, and now you have something that you can take to market or that you can share with your neighbors. And that's really something that we have to do first. And then, of course, the next level would be to be able to let women try to get into some larger market. But I think really the future of the small farmer and the role that small farmers play in building sustainable food systems is really a critical part of what we're looking at the Earth Summit. Well, we have this thing in the States that they just launched called Know Your Farmer, Know Your Food. And I think that as we see people, at least in the U.S., wanting to become more familiar with their food supply, I think that creating a good educational basis and an understanding of that relationship between consumer choice and how that affects the farmer on the other end, I think that building that kind of education delivery system to the consumer is really critical in trying to support good practices in farming, because a lot of what people don't like about our food system has been created by the way we choose the foods we eat. And so, the cart before the horse thing, or is it the horse before the cart? We have to fix it kind of backwards instead of forward. And a lot of that needs to be driven by consumer choice, because as soon as we start to make better choices, then the powers that be that govern and create our food supply will respond, because that's the way capitalism works. So that's really one of the critical goals of my production company, is to be able to create forms of media that help to build that education platform in the general public. The role that peace plays in building a sustainable planet. And I think that again is that cart before the horse, or horse before the cart kind of thing. It's like we need to look at those things together. How does peace build sustainable economies? How does a sustainable economy build peace? You know, all of these relationships that we have as humans, as governments, as economies, you know, all of these things need to learn how to, you know, not so much coexist, you know, coexist and tolerance, you know, these are kind of words that have this edge to them that we need to kind of move past, you know, because everybody that's here that's working towards these goals, you know, we're the people holding on to that thread of hope that we can really turn the corner and we can really do this as a global society. And so I think we really need to focus on what does that coherence, that cooperation that leads us towards building peaceful, sustainable societies. I'd like to hear the dialogue move more towards that.